Thank you, Sharon, for giving us that report. Now, still on mining matters, the Attorney General's office has appeared before the Portfolio Committee on Mines and Mining Development to explain progress on the Mines and Minerals Bill. The bill is now expected to be in Parliament in the next 2 weeks.
What they tell us, because they are also a government department who does their work as they are supposed to do, we believe them. Well, it has taken time. This is why we recalled them. As a matter of fact, the bill came here to Parliament in the first place when we asked them to come. It went in for proofreading and came back to Parliament, went back again actually to the Attorney General's office, where it is. But it had taken time now that we had to ask them to come and explain why it had delayed in the manner that it has. And he has assured us, assured the Portfolio Committee on Mines, that it's going to be here in 2 weeks' time. And we have got every reason to believe, because he has got a mandate to fulfill. He is Attorney General, appointed actually by the President, and that is that. They have got to be doing it right.
The bill is expected to replace the Mines and Minerals Act, Chapter 2105. To understand what the bill seeks to achieve if it becomes law, we are joined by legal expert Joshua Takawira to give us more details. Good evening, Joshua. Can you take us through the procedures that have to be followed before the Mines and Mineral Bill actually sails through?
Considering that there are certain steps that that the legislative process takes, and these may take a long time. So it would take about 5 steps when we're looking into it. Number one, we're looking at the first reading of the bill in Parliament, and then subsequent consultations with the public. And number 2, once that has been done, the bill is going to be taken back to the Parliamentary Legal Committee, which is going to review the document and see if there are any loopholes or any weaknesses that the bill may have legally. And it's going to be taken back for the second reading in Parliament. And after that, it will require that the bill be taken to Senate, and after Senate, it will proceed and go and be signed by the President. So this entire process may take a long time. As it is, we are looking at a situation where we are not sure. It could take months, it could take years, or we could restart the process if the President decides not to sign.
Well, quite a lengthy process. One of the objectives looks set to be that of ensuring that holders of mining rights work that their claims rather than allowing them to preserve their title by paying some form of annual fees. How important is that for the sector?
We can look at the positives that this bill is going to bring. Number one, we see that this bill is going to be an inclusive bill. It is including small-scale farmers, small-scale miners, and other stakeholders that typically wouldn't have been involved in back in 1961. What that will do for the current miners, small and big, is number one, it's going to give them some form of security, because with the inclusion of the small-scale farmers and the small-scale miners, it's going to be important to reduce the disputes that we've seen a number of them in court over the years. And number two, what this bill seeks to address is an issue where people are not really productive. They are holding on to claims, but they are not really productive on those claims. So the bill will require, number one, that instead of paying a fee at the Minister's office, at the Ministry of Mines office, that number one, the first and foremost, the first test will be to test if that mine is productive or not. So those that are holders of those claims will be required to actually do something about those mines.
Now, Mr. Takawira, I know that you already touched on some of what I'm just about to ask you. What other positives, in addition to what you have just said, can we expect should this bill actually sail through?
The third thing that this bill seeks to do is to improve the environmental, social, and governance issues, which are really important in this day and age. We've seen a lot of miners, big and small, mining, but not necessarily covering up what they've been mining, which has brought dangers to cattle, to people. So it's important that the environmental aspect of it be taken care of. And of course, it addresses a lot of things with regards to the social aspects of mining, including a number of people, communities, and things like that. And of course, the governance, where we see part of it being the involvement of government, and sometimes making sure that the people that are mining there have gotten those mines legitimately, and the mine that they are getting is accurately measured, and those sort of things. So it's overall a great bill to have, but at this stage it's difficult to tell how long it's going to take until it has become law.
Joshua Takawira, thank you for your time here on News Plus. Now, still to come on the news, Rwandan President Paul Kagame is on course to extend his 24-year rule by another 5 years. We speak to our crew that is in Kigali. Don't go anywhere.